That's the funnest place to be.
To the shipmobile!
From the dawn of time, spirals have existed everywhere, as old as time itself. From the galaxy we inhabit to our own DNA and fingerprints. But is there more to these seemingly random spirals? Even early man painted spirographic images on cave walls. But is it something more sinister? Creatures, weather, toys? Spirals are everywhere. But is it a message from the gods, or perhaps demons? Are the spirals a warning, or something else? In this documentary, we will investigate a theory that spirals are in fact a communication device from otherworldly beings known as spirodemons, or spirodesmonds, who use spirals, and particularly in modern times, spirographs, to open portals to our realm and torture and maim evil people. The spirodesmon's nature is equally redemptive as it is punishing, and this will all depend on the person who chooses to communicate with them. Dare you join us and risk entering their nether regions in the search for truth? Early primitive humans drew spirographic images on cave walls. But why? Were they communicating with something? Research suggests they were. And recent archaeological digs have found where these paintings exist, so do the remains of humans with missing body parts. This particular painting appears to show an intact penis, perhaps a request. Some, however, depicted mutilated penises. Evidence suggests the spirodemons, or spirodesmonds, would open a portal, suck in the artist's genitals, and leave the victim with a crinkle-cut cock. We now also know that the spirodesmonds eat foreskins. Biblical descriptions of angels suggest they had multiple faces and were surrounded by wheels within wheels. Were these early descriptions of spirodesmonds in their own realm? After the death of Christ, several relics were sought after. Turin's shroud, the holy nails, crown of thorns, but one was held in the highest of esteem, the Jesus foreskin. It is said that a band of knights searched out and protected this relic, for its power would be too dangerous in a demon's hands or mouth. For over 2,000 years, the holy foreskin has been hidden away by the shit knights of Penn Island, in the hopes that it could never be tethered with the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, an evil tome bound in human foreskins and inked in human bloody semen, and with the power beyond any human reckoning. It is said, if the Jesus foreskin is added to the Necronomicon, it will open a massive portal to the nether regions and unleash holy foreskin hell upon our realm. Turning to modern times, a company well known for producing board games,
don't do that, that's all he has, bro.
patented a device to communicate with the dead. The Ouija board, spirit board, talking board, or the witch board. Later, however, unknown to the consumer of such goods, they released a new communication device, the spirograph. No one knows why, or even if the company knew the spirograph had these capabilities. But since its development, more and more incidents have been reported. Those involving children say they have an uneasy feeling around the hand-drawn patterns. Others have nightmares. Are these just a warning to stop? Who knows? Some children disappear altogether, and evidence shows these children are usually from abusive environments and are being taken away to a safer place. These spirodesmonds, demons, angels. They seem to protect the innocent and punish the bad. Spirographs appear to just be one modern form of communication that are easily found and accessed and provide an easy way into our realm. Spirograph is just one way in. Another is the gory hole, a harrowing punishment for an evildoer, food for the Desmond. Similar in vein to a glory hole, the gory hole's aim is to attract an evildoer, suck in the victim's penis and give them a crinkle-cut cock and a delicious meal for the Desmond, who love nothing more than to eat a crinkle-cut foreskin. So beware when you see any kind of spiral patterns. Do not try to communicate. Good or evil, the Desmonds are an unwanted presence. I told you, I'm not telling you my name. I'll show you my ID though, hang on. That's as good as an ID. Oh, yes. Okay. Now you know who I am.
Why are the Spiro demons often called desmonds?
This was originally just a autocorrect issue we had in the Spiro hunting and intel team while communicating with each other. Often when you'd send each other a message about the Spiro demons, it would come up as desmonds, and that has just become a slang term now for Spiro demons.
Why do they look like they do?
So the Desmonds have been observed briefly in the Nether region on a few occasions, but not many. While in their own realm, they look similar to the biblical description of angels. You know, the spiraling cogs and wheels and stuff like that. And very bizarre. But in our realm, they transform into a humanoid appearance. But I think they can't fully do it. So the best they can come up with is a sort of skull, sort of deformed features, and then they put a cape on and the gloves and all that, just hide themselves really. That's all it is.
Why do they attack and mutilate evildoers, and what happens to them?
So as far as we know, the Desmonds appear to act against evil people. And if such heinous activities are detected, they make a portal appear nearby, often in the guise of a spirograph, can be a gory hole or whatever. It can be multiple things. They can open up a portal anywhere, really. The evildoer will then be sucked in, and then depending on the degree of their evilness, they may receive a crinkle-cut cock. And to be honest, the crinkle-cut cock can be quite mild compared to what can happen to you. Some of the things we have seen, well, we have observed the nether regions, have been people being basically repeatedly tortured. They are mutilated, die, and then come back. We have seen a spousal abuser have his guts ripped out, basically burnt in front of his face, die, come back alive, essentially healed, and the same thing happening again and again and again.
What happens to the children that disappear?
We do know that children aren't harmed by the Desmonds. Some get a warning for communing with the unknown, but they don't hurt children. This is why some kids tell of nightmares and ill feelings, but no child has ever said they've been hurt by doing a spirograph. And the ones that disappear, all of them, from what we've gathered, have all been from abusive households or situations and have basically been saved.
What do desmonds eat?
So the Desmonds will eat pretty much any human parts they can get, really, but their favourite food is a crinkle-cut foreskin. They absolutely love it, and I think from our research it is basically has an inebriating effect on them as well. Some have been recorded eating feces-laden flesh. No idea why this was. Maybe it's some kind of sauce for them. God. Ugh.
What is crinkle cut cuisine?
Just another way for the Desmonds to punish evildoers. Any evil person calling up the crinkle cut cuisine menu will be asked to create a spirograph, at which point they will personally receive whatever free meal they've asked for as a punishment. Imagine ordering a butterfly cock. Fucking hell. That makes me want to drink. Hello, Sally. I have you on speakerphone at the minute. Wanted to ask you a few questions about what happened to you.
Well, this big weird kind of portal thing kind of opened up in front of me. I thought I was gonna go in it. I was gonna, man. I grabbed a tree and just held on and held on and held on.
Do you think you did anything that caused it?
I weren't doing nothing. My little brat kid wouldn't do as I was fucking told, so I slapped it a couple of times. And then all of a sudden this space goes weird and opens up and there's like spirals and shit coming out of it.
And how do you feel about that now?
I thought I was a goner. I really thought I was a goner. It's all that fucking kid's fault. I should have pushed the kid in, that's what I should have done. That old fucker deserves it, not me. I'm just doing my best at being a mum, you know? Fuck it. That happens again, I'm pushing the kid in. They can deal with the little bastard.
Oh, looks like she's gone.
Well, the day started as normal. Noticed there was a bin bag in the kitchen. Opened the bag, took a little look inside, and that's when I see it. I come across a spirograph set. I thought, there's a bit of nostalgia. Let's give this one last go before it gets thrown away. Draw the first pattern. Nothing has happened yet. I put that one down. I grab the red. I start drawing that pattern. A little bit longer this time. Just kept going round and round and round and round until, the pattern looked right to me. And then all of a sudden, there was this kind of flash that I was like pulled in. It's still very, very painful to talk about because it's only been a few weeks and it's still healing. I don't know how it happened, but somehow was sucked into the now Spiro hole portal that had opened up on this piece of paper thanks to the spirograph. I was trying to pull this piece of paper off me, a regular fucking piece of paper. I was trying to pull this fucking thing away, and it wasn't having it. It's only because I fucking tripped and fell over in my struggle, and the fucking chair leg went in one of the fucking belt loops and stopped me from fucking going all the way in. The portal still had all of my cock when they must have realised that it wasn't going to get all of me. Fucking thing closed off, and it took me parts with it, shall we say. The doctors did what they did. Let's just say whatever skin was left over was sewn back on. The fucking patched me up down there. So no, it doesn't work. It's not even there. They took over a fucking heart of it. So what am I left with now? An inch. Fucking hell. There's no way in hell I'm opening another one of those fucking balls up and for them to come get me. No way. Absolutely no fucking way. Thanks.
This is 89.5 FM, home of the shits. I mean hits. At 1 a.m., we will be discussing the future of zippers, and will they become redundant? But right now is the confession hour. Call in and tell us your deepest, darkest secrets. Looks like we have our first anonymous caller, straight from the backwoods by the sounds of it. Hello, caller. You are now on the air.
Well, it was the mid-80s and I remember I went to buy a record. It's called spin me right around. And, well, I don't remember much after that. It was just, woke up a week later. And now I have a penis that looks like a starfish. Which is, I don't know. It makes me feel okay that maybe there's people out there who also have the same problem, but I hope that they don't. Because pissing is just a nightmare.
Ooh, painful. Looks like they've hung up. Sorry to hear about that caller. On with the show. Let's play a song. Here's Eric Clapton and Spiral.
Good evening, Cornish Bob. Under the Section 3 of the Mental Capacity Act 1990, we have to keep you here until we feel that you are well enough to be released and you can go home. So can you explain why you have this black cloak on and you have blood all over your hands, as the police had no reports of a murder in the vicinity of your office when they picked you up by the side of the road? So tell us what happened for the police to bring you here today, Cornish Bob.
I'm really not sure, to be honest. The last thing I remember is my belt loop snapped whilst the Spiroverse portal was surrounding me. I had a busy day at the office that week and decided to do some spirographs to unwind. I knew the dangers, but with all the appropriate equipment put in place, I thought I'd be all right. You see, this portal took me to a very strange place. I was surrounded by darkness, and the screams were deafening, and I was squinting, which made it easier to see at this point. While I was fearing for my life, I went into battle mode or some kind of rage. I could feel there was something there. I could make out a number of them, perhaps 6 or 7 of them. They were pulling at my clothes, and I felt my shirt being ripped off my back. My shoes and trousers were like they had been pulled off me. I was there naked and shivering. This rage I had was the only thing that could save me. I managed to get a good hold of one of those things in the black robes, and I smashed his head in with the end of the stick that was on the ground. It was the stick I used to protect me from falling into the portal, which must have fell in as my belt loop snapped. That portal was so strong, or I just had the wrong Marks and Spencer's trousers on that day. I killed one, which I believed to be a Spiro Desmond, and I stole his cloak and I put it on. And all I remember after this time is being cold and waking up in a strange wood. I walked outside of town and along the main road when the police stopped me and took me into custody. They did. They didn't believe my story. You believe me, don't you, nurse? You believe me?
Well, Cornish Bob, from what the police know at this moment, you will need to stay here until they have good evidence to back up your story. Now let's get you out of this cloak, wash the blood off your hands, and you can wear these new clothes we have for you.
Nurse, 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 I think this cloak has some weird powers. I feel like I'm being possessed or something. Help me, help me. I don't feel very good. I don't know what's happening. I don't feel so good. Nurse, nurse, help me, help me. If I don't change into those clothes, I'm going to be a different man.
Back when I used to work in the sweatshop, beating the workers, make sure that they would work faster and make more footballs. I used to come home and in order to release the tension in my wrist, I would do spirographs. The last time I did this, I was so carried away and enjoying doing the spirograph so much, the pen ripped through the paper and landed on the chair. It ruined my life. Spirograph totally ruined my life. How are you supposed to stand at the end of the sweatshop and scream at people when when your voice is so high because when you sat down on the spirograph, your vegetables got chewed.
911. What is your emergency?
Look here, I understand I'm no better than any other man, but whenever it was that I bumped into these fuckers, oh boy. I was doing some murdering and things like this, but there's no reason for this kind of recourse. Just so much retaliation for... No one needs a cock like this. It's just too much. What did I do to deserve this kind of retribution?
Sir, what is your emergency? Sir, are you there?
My name's James Taylor. This is my story of how dyslexia and horniness changed my life forever.
Toilets. Desmond in the toilet. Beware the glory hole.
It was late on a Saturday afternoon. I'd seen an advert for a local glory hole in a paper. But that's when things went terribly wrong.
Ugh. I'm not taking a shit in that. It's fucking disgusting. Ooh, what's that? Ooh, is that a glory hole? Nice. Well, since I'm not going to have a shit, might as well get some action. Oh yeah. Ooh, that's a nice fit, that is. Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice. Oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? What's that?
Pain! I've got a crinkle cock!
That was 6 months ago. Now I'm a changed man, if even you can call me a man at all. All I know, I vow revenge for the Spiroverse, with everything that I have left.
I know it's hard for you to talk about, and thank you for taking the time.
Please don't touch me.
Please, let us know how it is that you found out about the Spiroverse.
I can't really say that I know too terribly much about them. I just know that I wouldn't call what they do revenge. I would call what they do more retribution and justice as far as they see it. The first night I ever encountered one of these beings, I was 8 years old. And I was walking home from the shop with a pack of cigarettes that my mother wanted. And I came around a corner, maybe a block or two from my house, and there was a man there. I knew who he was by name. I'd seen him on the street once or twice, but it wasn't anything I knew to necessarily be scared of. And he pulled me into a dark alley, and pushed me down behind the rubbish bins, and I hit my head. I don't remember what happened for the minutes in between that. I just remember a lot of pain and a horrible wrenching. And then there was this warm wave of meat, for lack of a better way to put that, in my face. And I opened my eyes at that point and saw a hand coming out of his chest. And that hand held something in it that I later found out was a heart. That was the first time I ever saw what I would later know to be a Desmond, or a Spiro demon, whatever it is you want to call them.
I managed to escape the Spiroverse. This is the footage and the story of what happened.
I decided to take the Franken van. I found a location which was a massive green shed. Finally found it on an industrial estate. It's over there.
Found some foreskins on my way to the portal.
I don't know where I am. I'm in a dark place. There's a little bit of light, but not a lot. I can hear them outside. They got me outside. Franken van. I didn't get to the actual green container shed. I still have my foreskin. They haven't got that yet. It's not been crinkled. I don't know how long that'll be. Just waiting to be hit by a Desmond to crinkle my cock. Who's that? Who's that? Go away. I can see you. Go on, fuck off. I still have my machete. I'll have you. Go on, get away. Fucking Desmonds. Right, that's it. I made it back to Franken van. I did have some cord with me, so I tied the cord around the machete once I'd chopped up the bastard. Chopped his arms and legs off and fingers. And then I got the machete and threw it through the Spiroverse entrance. Managed to stab it into a tree and pulled myself out. Lucky escape.
My daddy, he bought me a spirograph set, and so I played with it lots and lots. I really liked it, but one day it made a big hole in the page, and there was a light. There was a light in the hole, and a scary man in the hole said, "Put me away, put me away. This is not for you." And I was very scared, so I told my mummy, and she said, "Don't be silly." She said I made it up. I didn't. I didn't. There was a man in a hole. So I put it away because I don't like her. I don't like her.
I went to the bus stop. This guy came and sat next to me, and he said his name was Desmond. He said to me, "Have you ever played spirograph?" And I said, well, I've never known of, I didn't know there was a game. I thought it was like a, you know, a thing you did on your own. And he went, oh, no. He said, there's a really good game. He said, if you want to come back to my place, we could have some real good fun, and I'll teach you how to play spirograph. All right, I'm interested. So we went to his house, which wasn't far away. He produced 2 very large glasses, and he filled them with this strange green drink, which he said was called something like absinthe. And he poured it into these glasses. They must have been about a half pint each. So we downed these in one, and then we had another one, and I was feeling slightly drunk. And he said, okay, now he said it's time for the spirograph. He said, I'm just going to go into this little room next door. He said, and you'll see there's a hole in the door, and it had all like spirograph stuff all around the hole, like decorated. And he said, what I want you to do, he said, is to put your pecker in the hole, just like a woodpecker does. He said, you'll feel an amazing feeling like you've never felt before. So he shut the door, and I put my pecker in the hole. And then I heard this like mechanical noise, almost like a drill or something. And the next thing, I had this searing pain. I tried to pull it out, but he was holding it from the other side, and he said, no, don't move. He said, I've got to staple it, or you'll bleed to death. What am I going to do? And he said, just hold on. He said, it won't take long. And I heard this like clack, clack noise. And he said, you can pull your pecker out now. This is what I had. And it's got like a metal clamp holding it shut, and it was all like, all the skin and everything was just gone, and there was blood everywhere. And I ran out of the house, and luckily I caught the bus. But everyone on the bus kept staring at me because there was blood dripping everywhere. I don't know if I would have survived if I hadn't escaped. If you ever meet anybody at a bus stop called Desmond and they invite you to come and play spirograph, I strongly warn against it. And I haven't dared take the staple off yet because I don't know what's going to happen. So that's what happened to me.
Right, today we'll be doing a shit follow along when I go to a crime scene and investigate a potential Spiroverse incident. First thing I will do, though, is show you some of the equipment you might need. So, any good agent is going to need their phone. That's for taking pictures, essentially, and many other ways to record evidence. A pair of rubber gloves, always handy, surgical gloves. You may be picking up bits of human flesh, feces, foreskins, severed penises, stuff like that. I've been out on jobs before and forgot these gloves, so it's always worth having them. A good knife, always handy. A gun, because you never know when you might have to fight a Desmond.
Do you have a license for that gun? Pretty sure they're not legal in the UK.
Oh, I've got a license, all right. There's my license. My shit license covers firearms, explosives. That's technically a license to kill, and that surpasses pretty much any government authority there is. Never forget your firearm. Dictaphone's always handy for recording evidence on tape. The older technologies work better than the new technologies. It's just something to do with the age of the technology. It just seems to work better. It can't be interfered with. You want some alcohol? This is no way near enough, though.
You seem to do a lot of drinking on the job. Is that moral?
Yeah.
Or ethical?
You'll find out soon why shit members drink on the job. Then lastly, two of the most important self-defense items you can carry as a shit agent. Your safety broomstick attachment. This is an extendable one. And your crinkle cut cock blocker. You must have that on you. Both of these Otherwise you're fucked.
Does DC had a few drink drive? Sheer shit driver.
None of us drink drive. I don't even have a licence to drive. Oh, well, saying that. That's also a driving licence. We're probably going to have to get some more booze, though. That's going to be nowhere near enough. Yeah. Right. To the crime scene. So here we are at the actual crime scene. The camera won't be panning around the whole entire room because this is an actual active scene. But I will investigate while the camera is filming me, and you can ask me as many questions as you like. Put my gloves on. Just going to read what we need to do here, actually.
Can you read? Someone told me you can't even read.
Right. Apparently, someone has done what appears to be a spirograph and disappeared, essentially. There are body parts laying around my feet as I talk. I'll take my phone out, take some pictures, and we can show those on the screen because it won't be showing you the whole entire crime scene. It's funny, you know, because ever since we captured one of the Desmonds, the life seemed to be worse, you know. Seems to be more and more incidents now.
Is it true that shit was originally named Chode?
You're as bad as fucking Jonathan, you are, with your bullshit. We've always been called shit. Spiro Hunting and Intel Team are based on and influenced by the shit knights of Penn Island. Alright? Learn your history.
Do you have to get circumcised when you join shit as a precaution? Kind of like the Yakuza cutting off a finger, but obviously cooler.
Ah, well, it's actually quite a good comparison, comparing us to the Yakuza, but no, you do not need to be circumcised to be in shit. But, to be honest, it does help. However, saying that, if the Desmonds can't get your foreskin, they'll just take your entire cock. So, sometimes it's actually an advantage to have a foreskin. Okay, so what we have here, appears to be a crinkle-cut foreskin.
Is it true that you ate crinkle-cut foreskins while you were in hospital?
Look, they was feeding me something in that hospital. I don't know what it was.
Please explain to us what a battered foreskin tastes like.
Like, it was cheesy. That's all I remember. Whatever I was eating, it was cheesy. That's all I'm saying. Oh, wow. Found it. Don't see these very often. That is a completely severed cock. And the foreskin, you can actually see where it's been crinkle cut along the edge there. Do not see those very often, I tell you. If you wonder why the cameraman just stopped the footage there, it's because they've just been sick. Doesn't look like they have the bollocks to do this. Oh look, here's a few they could have. Okay, so I'd say that the evidence is very, very strong that there has been a Spiro event here. We found crinkle cut foreskin, a severed crinkle cut penis, a pair of testicles out of the sack. Any questions?
How do you know what the nether regions are like if you've never been there?
No questions actually about the crime scene? Okay, fair enough. You've had enough, haven't you? Proof that the nether regions do exist. Well, I've seen them, and one of our scientists has seen them. And there have been some witnesses who have been there and managed to come back. So yeah, you know, it does exist. You've seen the evidence. Before we finish today's shit follow through, I would just like to tell you my favourite quote I've heard over the years. This one is by Terry Pratchett. Over the centuries, mankind has tried many ways to combat the forces of evil. prayers, fasting, good works, and so on. Up until Doom, no one seemed to have thought about using the double-barrel shotgun. Eat leaden death, demon. And I totally agree. Hello, I am Professor Pinchdoffer from TURDS, Teams Urgently Researching Desmonds Sciences. Today I will be going over some of the techniques we use to investigate the Spiroverse, ways to protect yourself in those environments, and other experiments we have been performing lately. Firstly, I'd like to show you some of the gadgets that I have made over the years, perfected these from very old, ancient techniques, and these are ways you can protect yourself. So, the first one is the crinkle cut cock blocker. Now, this is a very ancient device. You basically insert your penis into the tube. It's made of metal, and it'll protect your penis in the event of a Spiro Desmond using a gory hole or anything similar to crinkle cut your cock, basically. These work really well. You must make sure that they fit your penis perfectly though. So they do come in various sizes, right down to tiny little nubbin type ones to big ones like this. Next is the SBSA, safety broomstick attachment. These are used by placing them in the back of your trouser belt loops, fully extended. This is an extendable version which I created recently. Extend it right out, and that'll stop you being pulled into a Nether Regions portal. Really, really good safety mechanism, that one is. One of the latest inventions I've come up with is a emergency technique to stop Desmonds taking your foreskin or even your penis. The idea is to get some kind of heat rub. This is one that I've designed myself, and in the event of a Spiroverse attack happening, you would quickly open this up and rub the deep heat around the end of your penis, and hopefully, this is untested yet, that should stop any Desmond trying to eat your foreskin or even take your penis altogether. So there is that. I think that would work. I don't know. We shall see when someone tests it out. Oh, sorry, you caught me at it. Can't make a spirograph. So we have been doing some experiments lately with different liquids, and we have noticed that if you do a spirograph and you start to open a spiro portal, you can see reactions in drinks, as I'm showing you here. This drink started to react as the spiro portal started to open. Very interesting bit of research, I think. Talking of drinks. What was that one? 58% tequila. Lovely. What I shall show you now is some experiments I did with spirographs opening spiro portals and then placing a camera over the hole and seeing if we can film the nether regions. Here we will be experimenting with opening a portal just for a few seconds, enough that we can see into it, but not let it suck us or any of the equipment in. Whatever happens now, we must know, most importantly, to follow the science. So there you go. Those are just some of the few experiments that we have done lately We are progressing very well with our research into the Spiroverse. I hope you enjoyed today's video presentation. Thank you. With the advent of television, mobile phones and the internet, the Spiroverse has infiltrated popular culture. Be it TV shows based on the Spiro Hunting and Intel team and the DVDs based on the series, multiple Spiroverse books, the CCC Spotter's Corner, where people send in Crinkle Cut related content, adverts for Crinkle Cut cuisine.
Considered cooking something yourself?
No, that's not an option. Book reviews on Amazon, and even a show called Spiromare based on the children's show Nightmare. The joy of painting isn't even safe, with a Desmond version where they show evildoers how to make spirographs. I'm Desmond, and I'll be showing you how to make spirographs. An erotic anthology drama where people send in Spiro-related stories exists. Adverts for safety broomstick attachments, and PSAs where Monty the dog warns you about the dangers of spirographs.
Tonight, on Tales from the Spiroverse, we'll tell you the cautionary tale of Monty the dog. Monty the dog won't go near spirographs because spirographs are bad.
Even the US president is watching.
I tell you, I have had the pleasure of watching the Spiroverse, and golly gee, it's a fine piece of work.
You can buy Crinkle Cut cock blockers online and listen to music based on real-life Spiro Desmond attacks. And correspond with loved ones in the nether regions.
Spiroverse you're trying to communicate with? Welcome to Spirocom. It's cheaper than getting your dick chopped off.
While Musk sends spirographs to the moon.
We are going to send a spirograph to the moon. Our launch tests are showing some promising results.
And travel with Crinkle Cut Airways.
Fly first class on our VIP airline, Crinkle Cut Airways.
The most shocking and dangerous advancement is the Large Hadron Collider, which many suspect could open a massive nether regions portal and destroy the world. So beware, in the modern age, there are many new ways for the Desmond to take your foreskin, or worse if you are an evildoer. And never expect to be safe if communicating with the Spiroverse. Desmonds love a crinkle cut foreskin. You have been warned.
What do you think, darling, of the voice acting and things we're doing for the Spiro stuff?
You guys are wasting time on an extreme level.